Hello and welcome to Polyglot Principles. My name is Modja. I am a hyper-polyglot who speaks 8 languages. I speak 4 of those languages at an advanced level. This is the channel where I help ambitious language learners go from intermediate to advanced in their target language. So if you're at the intermediate level, or maybe you're a little bit advanced and you want to become really advanced and you want to become fluent in the language, then this is the channel for you. The channel is also designed for ambitious people. So you're not happy with getting by, you're not happy with doing okay in the language, being average in the language, communicating reasonably. All those words make you sick, basically. Reasonable, average. You really want to get good at the language. If you're that sort of person, this is also the channel for you. And I usually go into great detail in my videos. So if you're a person who likes detail, then you're definitely in the right place. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button and hit the bell notification. Ding, 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 ding. That way you'll be notified whenever I publish videos. Every Monday at 8 a.m. Central African Time, I publish a new video. So I usually share very useful tips towards up to the end of the video. So make sure to stay till the very end, as you'll see. If you want to contact me for any reason, you have any questions for me, just send me an email. My email is polyglotprinciples@gmail.com. It's all in the description. Alright, anyways, let's now get into the meat of this discussion. And the title of the video is quite provocative. Don't take language learning advice from natives. So, we've all been taught that natives are the best teachers. And by the way, I need to know what you think. Do you think natives are the best teachers? If you think so, why? If you don't think natives are the best teachers, write down why you don't think so. Just pause this video, go to the comment section and let me know why you think natives are the best teachers in a language, or why you think they're not good teachers. Alright, now you're back. Let's dig into this. So the first question are natives the best teachers? I don't know if we even need to think in terms of best, but let's just go deep into it to help you see in which situations. Obviously, not in all situations are native speakers bad, and that's what we're going to start with. What are natives good at? What are native speakers good at in language learning? So a native speaker is basically, he's an expert. In fact, a native speaker is a master of his own language. It's actually no small feat. It's just, for example, you have your native language, whatever it is, English, Spanish, whatever your native language is. You speak it very well and you take for granted how amazing it is. But when you see someone else trying to learn your language, you realize that you've actually done something remarkable to master whatever your language is. Now, mastery is really the same regardless of what you're doing. Someone who has mastered an activity is someone who understands the activity so well that it has been condensed to a feeling. For example, the best basketball player does not think about how he's moving his hands, how he's jumping, how he's breathing when he's making a shot, when he's doing a movement. It all just happens automatically. He just feels when something is right and when something is wrong. This is true of a basketball player, a dancer, a chess player, whatever kind of expert. It's certainly true of a master of a language, which you are as a native, or which any native is. A native doesn't think about grammar. A native doesn't think about pronunciation. Many natives have even forgotten what an adjective is, what the heck is an adverb. Actually, I just had a conversation with a native German speaker, and she'd forgotten what the heck an adjective is, because she doesn't use that stuff. She doesn't need to. She has understood her language, in this case German, so well that the rules and the grammar has all been condensed down to a feeling. She can sense when something is right. She can sense when something is wrong. This is really the power of the native. Because of this, natives are very good at certain things. So let's see, what are natives really good at? One of the things a native is really good at is telling you if a sentence is correct. Because a native can see a sentence or hear a sentence and automatically tell you whether they might not be able to tell you why it's wrong or why it's correct, but they'll immediately be able to tell you, okay, this sentence doesn't feel right. There's something off about this sentence. So that's the first thing they're really good at, telling you if a sentence you're saying a sentence is correct or not. The other thing a native is good at is pronunciation. They can tell you very easily if something is pronounced correctly or not. They may not be able to tell you how to pronounce it, but they're very good at telling you if your pronunciation is correct. They may not be able to tell you what specifically is wrong with it, but they'll just tell you, no, that sounds off. So obviously natives then are good tools if you want to check your pronunciation. Just say something and ask them, does this sound right to you or not? And they'll tell you instantly. The other thing that natives are good at is telling you how to say something correctly, how to express an idea correctly. So let's say you have a sentence that is wrong. And you ask the native, hey, what is the correct way to say this? They're very good at telling you, altering your sentences or saying an idea in a correct way. For them, it's instinctive. It's like breathing. So they're very good at that also. So their native can help you in terms of correcting your sentences and telling you what is the best way to say something, or what is a great way to say something. The other thing that natives are good at is, this is kind of related, is they're also good at giving you a better way to express an idea. So maybe you've expressed your idea reasonably well, and they can tell you, oh, no, you can actually make it better. For example, a simple example is something like this. Let's say you're learning English and you say, my stomach is grumbling. I haven't eaten in 2 days. My stomach is grumbling. This sentence is correct, but nobody really talks like that. A native can see the sentence and improve it for you. For example, an English native will simply tell you, oh yeah, instead of saying my stomach is grumbling, just say I am hungry. You see. So this is again the other power of natives. So there's really, what natives are good at is telling you, as I've said before, just to summarize this idea, what is correct, if something is correct, if something is wrong, how to say something correctly, and how to express or say something better. That's really where the natives excel. This is because they're masters. They have a very good feel for what is right and wrong and how to say things in the language. Okay, so, but natives, although natives are really good, they're masters, natives are not masters at everything. There are certain things that natives suck at, natives are not good at, and that's what we're going to look at next. But before we look at that, I'd like to remind you that for this video, for example, I have very detailed notes. I've written every idea that I'm talking about now. I can't really talk about it in as much detail as in my writing. So I've written notes on this video where I explain every idea, everything I'm going to say here in greater detail. So if you want to really understand how to work with native speakers in order to improve your language learning, then make sure to watch this entire video thoroughly and also check out my notes. If you do both of those things, then you'll have a very deep understanding of how to work with natives, when to work with them, when not to work with them, when to believe them and when to doubt what they're telling you, all that good stuff. So then the notes are just in the description of this video. If you go to the description of the video, you'll see a link to the notes that will show you all of that. As I mentioned before, if you have any questions, any criticism, you want to contact me just for any reason, I'd be really glad to hear from you. Send me an email at polyglotprinciples@gmail.com. And I make videos every Monday at 8 a.m. Central African times. Very detailed videos like this one. So if you don't want to miss out on anything, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification. Ding, ding, ding. That way you'll be notified whenever I publish a new video. So let's move on. We've talked about what natives are good at. They have just a good intuition, they're master of the language, they're good at many things. They can correct your sentence, they can tell you if something is mispronounced, they can express an idea correctly, they can tell you how to express an idea correctly, they can tell you a better way to express an idea. Let's now move on to what do natives suck at? What are natives not good at? So people make the mistake of thinking that because someone is a native speaker, they're good at everything related to that language. For example, I am a native English speaker, but that doesn't make me automatically an expert at learning English. Not necessarily. In my case, yes, because I'm a language learning expert. But most people, most native speakers of English or any language, yes, they've mastered their own language, but they learned the language as children. They did not learn the language as adults. There is a big difference between learning a language as a child and learning it as an adult. Children learn the language, most of it subconsciously. The native cannot tell you exactly how they learned the language. They just can't remember. Think about your whatever language you're a native speaker at. Let's suppose you're a native English speaker and you learned English from your childhood. Do you remember how you learned it exactly? It was a long time ago. You just speak it well, but you don't know how you got here, you see. So if a native doesn't know how they became so good at the language, why would one think that they're qualified at showing someone else how to get good at the language? It doesn't make sense. Because when you're learning, if you're learning a language as an adult is very different. It's actually a skill. You have to be skilled at, you have to know what resources to use, how to learn grammar. There's a lot of stuff to figure out about learning a language consciously. Not the child's way is unconscious, but consciously as an adult, how you learn a language. That's a skill. And native speakers do not automatically have it. This is why when a native speaker gives you advice, okay, actually, we're going to get into exactly what they suck at. Right? So this is why you have to be a bit careful. And let's now go into really the exact things that native speakers suck at. The first one, which I was about to mention and stop myself, is native speakers are not good at giving language learning advice. The reason they're not good at giving language learning advice is because they don't remember how they learned their language. So if you ask them how to learn a language, they'll give you theories of how they think one should learn a language. I actually have there's a certain conversation partner I have, and he's my German conversation partner. He teaches me German. He's a German native, so he's very good at German. But he's over time he's given me a lot of advice about how to learn the language, how to learn German. Most of his advice was just bogus advice. In fact, the way to successfully learn the language is to take all his advice and do the opposite. This is how extreme it was. He was good at German, but his advice about language learning was crap. And the reason it's crap is because he has never successfully learned a foreign language as an adult. So he's not qualified to give language learning advice. So does that mean that whenever a native speaker gives you language learning advice, you should doubt it? No. If the native speaker has successfully learned other foreign languages as an adult, okay, you can listen to him. But even if he hasn't, his advice may be correct. But all I'm saying is, when a native speaker gives you advice and they've never learned a language as an adult, take it with a grain of salt. Don't just believe it automatically because they're fluent speakers of the language. Otherwise, you might wind up wasting months or even years on very useless methods that some native speaker gave you. Okay. So, second thing that native speakers suck at is telling you why something is correct. We mentioned before, a native speaker can tell you that something is correct. For example, a statement like, a red big ball, like this is a red big ball. That sentence is not correct, obviously. If you're a native speaker, you notice instantly there's something wrong with it. It's not a red big ball, it's supposed to be a big red ball. But if you ask the native speaker, well, the native speaker can tell you that it's wrong, and he can tell you how to say it correctly. Those are his strengths. But the native speaker has difficulty telling you why. Like if you ask me, hey, Modja, why don't you say a red big ball, but you say a big red ball? I'm not really sure. And most English native speakers are not really sure about that. Actually, I've done some research now, but before I didn't know. It's something we learned somewhere in high school called the order of adjectives, which I totally forgot. I don't even remember what the order is. It's just intuitive to me now, you see. So if you ask me about why something should be said this way in English, it's difficult. I have to look it up. And this is the attitude you should take with any native speaker, is when they tell you how or like why something is wrong or why something is correct, really, I'm not saying automatically say it's wrong, but just put it with a grain of salt. Check it out for yourself. The other thing that natives suck at is telling you whether something is difficult. For example, I had a native German speaker telling me German is easy. I can't take that statement seriously. Why? This guy is a native speaker. He's been learning German for so many years since his childhood. For him, it's all instinctive. Of course, it's all easy. That's what it means to be a master of a language. Everything is easy to you. The best football player in the world, Lionel Messi. Okay, if you want to debate, fine. Let's add Ronaldo in the list. Whatever. Those guys, for them, a lot of stuff in football is easy. For them, shooting, dribbling, oh yeah, it's easy. I can do it. No big deal. But of course, they've been learning the sport for years and years and years. So for them, a lot of what seems easy is not actually easy for the average person. One would have to practice for years to be able to do the easy things that they do. You see, this is the same with native speakers. A native speaker will tell you, oh yeah, this aspect of the language is easy. Oh yeah, prepositions in German are easy. Writing German, easy. A German speaker actually told me this stuff. Of course, I can't buy it, because being an expert, they're not able to determine anymore what is easy and what is hard. For them, almost everything is easy. So if you want to get maybe an honest assessment of how difficult a certain aspect of the language is, it's better to ask someone who has tried to learn it as an adult, or someone who is currently learning it, and so on. So I've given you three areas that natives suck at in language learning. That's giving you language learning advice, telling you why something is correct, or telling you why something is wrong, telling you whether something is difficult. You always have to doubt them. And what are natives good at, just to recap, is, hey, they can tell you if a sentence is correct, they can tell you if something is pronounced correctly, they can teach you how to express an idea correctly, they can give you a better way of expressing an idea. All that stuff they're really good at. So the idea for making this video came from, I was watching another YouTube channel called Matt vs. Japan. And it has the same title, Don't Take Language Learning Advice from Natives. So I'd like to do a shout out to Matt for making that video and giving me the idea, installing the idea in my head to make this video. So if you want to check out that video, is also very powerful, and the entire channel, Matt vs. Japan, is very powerful. So if you want to check it out, again, just go to the description. I'll put a link to this video. Don't take language learning advice from native speakers, right? From Matt vs. Japan. And there are 5 mistakes, fatal mistakes, which if you make them, guarantee that you'll never become fluent at your target language. It's important for you to know these mistakes, and most importantly, eradicate them. And to make sure that you don't, to learn about this, I have resources on this topic. I've made a video that teaches you what these 5 enemies of fluency are in a language, and what you can do, and ideas on what you can do to overcome these enemies. So if you want to know about this information, know what the 5 enemies of language learning are, go again to the description of this video, and there's a link to a video called The 5 Enemies of Fluency. Once again, everything I have said in this video, I have gone into much greater detail in my writing. So to access my notes on this video, go to the description below, and just click on, there'll be a link to the notes. And if you follow everything I've said carefully, and you read the notes carefully, your understanding about how to use native speakers, when to use them and when not to use them, will be greatly enhanced, which of course will manifest itself in results in terms of your language learning, provided you apply the things that I'm teaching. I make videos every Monday at 8 a.m. Central African Time. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, ding, 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 ding. That way you'll be notified whenever I publish a new video. And if you have any questions for me, any comments, encouragement, criticism, any sort of statement, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'll be very glad to hear from you. My email is polyglotprinciples@gmail.com. Just go into the description and you'll be able to see it. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye.